The New York Giants 2021 season schedule was released this week, and I am here going to go ahead and do a 5-game breakdown. The first 5 games of the season, we're going to break down and we're going to talk about them, and I'm going to tell you how the Giants are going to win those games, or if the Giants are probably going to lose those games in the season. We're going to do 4 segments. We're going to do first segment is going to be 5 games, and then we're going to do 3 other videos, and it's going to break down 4 games since they added 1 game to the season. Full disclaimer, this is May. The season does not start till September. So yes, there's a lot of things that could change, but we're going to have fun and we're going to break down the games with a roster and the information that's available right now. So this is a way too early prediction of the season. Drop comments below. What do you guys think? Let's go ahead and start it with the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos is the first opponent that the New York Giants are going to face. And what can we say about this team? This team is stacked on defense. It is designed to stop the pass. They have amazing defensive line. They have Von Miller. They have Chubb. And those two guys could go ahead and make just nightmares happen for Daniel Jones on week 1 if we're down by a lot of points or if we're getting on this heavy pass situation. Their secondary, it is one of the best in the league. They have a whole bunch of killers in there. They have Fuller, they have Darby, who they got from Washington, and they drafted Patrick Surtain. It's definitely a stacked defense. They have enough firepower on defense in terms of the secondary to shut down any team. Even our group, if we have a pretty decent core of wide receivers, they have the talent to shut it down. Remember also, it's not just about the cornerbacks. It's not about the secondary. They also have the edge rushers that could get to the quarterback before plays can develop. So we have to stay away from the third and longs. We have to be productive on first down. We have to be productive on second down. And Saquon Barkley has to get a lot of action, not only on the run game, but on the pass game too. Keep it short, keep it simple. And that's how we go ahead and we try to win the game on offense. Also, we have to go ahead and try the linebacker core for the Denver Broncos. Their linebacker core is nothing too crazy, and I think that's maybe where we would go ahead and have the success with the Denver Broncos. It's just gonna have to be a lot of run, and then the play action, and that's how, my opinion, how you gonna go ahead and beat the Denver Broncos on defense. On offense, the Denver Broncos do have great weapons at the wide receiver core and tight end. They got Fant, they got Cortland Sutton, and Jerry Jeudy is also on that team. And let me tell you something. They have good weapons. They have Melvin Gordon as running back also, but their quarterback position is highly questionable. There's rumors that they're going to try their hardest to get Aaron Rodgers to that team. If we're facing Aaron Rodgers week 1 and he has enough prep time to get familiar with the playbook and with his personnel, yes, that might be a loss. But as of right now, Drew Lock or Bridgewater are the starting quarterbacks for this team, and this should be a piece of cake. Why? Because we have a better defense than last year, and that's the truth. We have better run stoppers at the linebacker position. We have a better secondary now because we brought in secondary help. We have more pass rushers. So it's just a team that's going to get better. We already had a top 10 defense, and it's only going to get better. We've gotten better on that. I don't know how many times I'm going to keep mentioning better, but this should be an easy game for us. Just get to the quarterback, stop the run, stop Melvin Gordon, make sure that Bridgewater or Drew Lock are the ones to beat us. My prediction for this game, the Giants win convincingly in week 1, and we start 1-0. The Washington football team. Can you guys please find the name already? I'm tired of calling you guys the Washington football team. I swear to God, if you guys don't have a name soon, I will go back to the Redskins. I don't care. Anyhow, Washington football team. They were the number 4 ranked defense in the NFL last year, and they have a really good defensive line. Problem though, they're coming into the 2021 season. They lost a key corner in Darby Allin, who is now in Denver, who we just spoke about, and their linebacker core. It's not that impressive, honestly. We're gonna have to see what they bring first. They drafted a rookie at linebacker with their first round pick. He's a speedster. He can cover every blade of grass type of guy, but we still have to see that happen. So, in terms of the defense, yes, their defensive line: Allen, Young, Payne, Sweat. These guys are monsters, but that still leaves you with a lot of questions. The questions that the Washington football team have is up the middle. Can they stop the run? They stopped the run last year, but let's go ahead and they stop it this year. Can they stop it with us, that we have an improved offense? I believe, again, I think that this offense is better at running the ball. So let's see it with our star running back, Saquon Barkley, now in the game. Let's see how they're going to be able to defend against him. Play action. We know Landon Collins isn't the best at defenders. So let's use our tight ends. Let's use both Ingram and Fuller. Kyle Rudolph. Apologize. Kyle Rudolph. Let's use Kyle Rudolph to go ahead and expose the middle of the field. Yes, we can leave Fuller alone. We might not, because we have a number one wide receiver who we could throw it up and we could ask him to make catches on any cornerback, and he'll probably come down with it. So we're okay on the defense in terms of their defense versus our offense. I don't think they're going to be a number 4 defense again this year. In terms of the offense for the Washington football team, they have Antonio Gibson, they have Scary Terry, and then what else do they have going on? Honestly, I'm not impressed on Samuels. He doesn't scare me any type of way, shape, or form. And I'm definitely not impressed at their quarterback. If they come in with their starting quarterback being Ryan Fitzpatrick, I will laugh hard, because Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a savior. He is not gonna, just because he's gonna do the right thing, doesn't mean much, because the guy just came out of an 8-13 or 13-8 season, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's not good. This guy is not a good quarterback. Everybody wants to make it seem like Fitzpatrick is the best backup in the world. He's a good backup, but he's not a good starting quarterback. And there's a big difference to that. He's not the one that's honestly, in my opinion, I would have started Heineke. They might still start Heineke again. This is May. But regardless of the fact, their quarterback position is a weak link. So what do we have to do? We have to make sure that we stop the run and we expose them. We let the quarterbacks throw. With Fitzpatrick, for every 1.3 touchdowns that he throws, there comes an interception. So let's go ahead and let Fitzpatrick throw himself into a loss. That's what he will do. But we got to stop the run. And I think that's never feasible. I think the Giants win their Week 2 matchup against the Washington, and we start off 2-0. Week 3 opponent is the Atlanta Falcons, and this is game 3 for the Giants, obviously, and they're going against a high-powered offense. But the good thing about this offense and about this team in general is that we're going to face them at home, and I love facing dome teams in an outdoor stadium. Obviously, our stadium is outdoors. Who do we have in the Giants, in the Falcons offense? They have Matt Ryan, who quietly had a really good season, man. He had 26 touchdowns, I think 11 interceptions. It's not up to Matt Ryan standards. Maybe this guy is a very good quarterback still, but it was good enough, man. And people just think that Matt Ryan is done. Not with those numbers. He's going to have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, who was the #1 target for all Giants fans, what it looked like on Twitter. Everybody wanted Kyle Pitts. Well, guess what? We're going to see him nice and early in Week 3, and he's going to be on the opposite side of the team. They also have Mike Davis at running back. I don't know if you guys played fantasy football last year, but Mike Davis was a stud filling in for CMC. And that's Christian McCaffrey, for those who don't know. And I really like their offense. The problem is their offensive line is highly questionable. The only guy there that you could really say is a stud. It's their center. Their center named Matt Hennessy is a really good center. I believe that was their center's name. Not sure. But regardless of the fact, they also have Jake Matthews. He's okay. I think he was hurt though, or I think he is hurt. I'm not sure if he's going to be available for the beginning of the season. But nonetheless, their offensive line isn't that good. So that's where we have to attack. We have to keep pressure. We have to make sure that Mike Davis doesn't go off. And obviously, we could contain Matt Ryan somehow, some way by playing some really good cover 2 against him and those wide receivers and tight end. The Falcons on defense are pretty much going with an entire new team in terms of personnel. Remember, they also have a new coach. So it's a new head coach, new offensive scheme, new defensive scheme. And they're pretty much revamping their entire defense. They had one of the worst pass defense in the league. And guess what? We still have to go ahead and pass the ball. This is the first game, week 3, where I feel like the pass has to set up the run. So we have to just show all these different passing out. We have to show 11 personnel. We have to show 12 personnel. But we have to just, I guess, pass the ball to set up the run instead of running the ball to set up the pass. So the only thing in the Falcons defense that honestly, you might lose some sleep on is Grady Jarrett, who's an outstanding interior lineman, and Dion Jones, I believe his name is. Yes, Dion Jones, middle linebacker. This guy could run from sideline to sideline. He's one of the best middle linebackers in the league. He gets hurt a lot, but when he's there playing, man, this guy is just a monster. Like he would have a not an easy job, but he would definitely be able to cover Ingram, and he'll be able to cover Rudolph. And he never gets off the field. He is a 3-down linebacker. Other than that, a lot of unproven commodities. I do like, however, though, their strong side linebacker, Foyesade Oluokun. I probably butchered that name. That name is super hard to pronounce, but I really do like him. He's also another really fast linebacker. What do we have to see? Again, can the Falcons figure out if they can stop anybody on the pass? Can they stop the run? We got to try it out. Pretty much, it's a game where I think, honestly, we should win soundly, though. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout, but it's definitely should be at least a 1 or 2 touchdown victory for us. I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be the 3rd win in a row for the New York Giants, and we will start 3-0. Week 4 is against the Saints, and it's in New Orleans. This is the game where I am not sure how the Giants could pull this win off. The Giants would have to outcoach a really well-coached team, and the players are going to have to outplay a team with a lot of stars and just very difficult both on offense and defense. The Saints were a top 5 team, I believe, in both offense and defense. And this is with Drew Brees being very limited at his abilities. Like, I don't know if you guys saw towards the end of the season, Drew Brees cannot get a 20-yard pass down on a rope. They're not bringing in Jameis Winston. And for those of you guys who think that Jameis Winston is still this guy who is just going to throw up there 30 or 40 interceptions or whatever he does, you're wrong. Because Peyton is not going to let this guy just ruin the offense and throw 30 interceptions out there. Taysom Hill and him are going to go ahead and split snaps at quarterback. They're going to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But what happens now, because Winston does have a cannon, it does open up that offense. Michael Thomas did not have a good season last year, but it was also because of the limit that Drew Brees presented, man. He just couldn't get those deep crossing routes and throw them on a rope. That is very important. Michael Thomas is a very good cross wide receiver. It's either gonna be drags or crossing routes or slants. That is his thing, and he's really good at it. But for whatever reason, Drew Brees was just not able to get the ball to him how he normally did. Drew Brees is out the picture. We have Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, who is a monster. And they have Traquan Smith, who is no joke. His name is not mentioned a lot. I really do like that guy. He's a speedster. He just never is able to stay on the field. They have a really good offensive line. They're really good on offense. They have everything covered. So people are highly questioning Jameis Winston. I just don't think that this coaching staff and this head coach is going to allow mediocrity at the quarterback position. So even if Winston is bad, he will get the boot quickly. And again, this is another team where you never know. You might end up seeing some crazy trade and bringing a decent quarterback over here. Who knows, man? I hope not. I don't think that they'll be able to get Aaron Rodgers, especially with their cap. The team didn't improve in the offseason. That's another thing, too, that you have to keep in mind. They're so cap restricted that they really didn't improve. They just try to do everything not to lose what they pretty much had, because again, they were the number 4 offense, and I think the number 6 offense and the number 4 or something like that, or top 5 defense. So they're a really good team on both sides of the field. It's all about the quarterback position now, because it's just that's the biggest unknown. They just lost their franchise quarterback and Drew Brees, and let's see what they have on offense. Let's talk about the defense now. In terms of the defense for the Saints, they go ahead and they have Cameron Jordan. They have Demario Davis there. And the secondary is really good. Lattimore, Williams, Jenkins, Gardner Johnson. We know these guys have just really good team. My thing is with the Saints is, yes, they're really good. Can they do the exact same thing that they did last year? It's really hard to repeat being elite back-to-back years when you didn't do really much to improve the team. They got a defensive end as a first-round draft pick, I think number 28 or some sort like that. Point is, he's not gonna start because they have Davenport and they have Cam Jordan. So the team is just they could. This is it for them. They have to put it together this season. In terms of the Giants against their defense, honestly, I just don't know what can the Giants do. They have a really good secondary. They have a really good front defense. Like, it's just going to be really hard to put a game plan together. This is the one thing that, obviously, when the week of the game, I'll have a better idea of the New York Giants and I'll have a better idea of the Saints, and I'll be able to break down and see what are the keys to victory then. But as of right now, I'm going to say that this is the first loss for the New York Giants. And it's okay, though, because we're 3-1, and that's a great start to the season. All right, guys. Week 5 opponent, it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. This is almost kind of the similar scenario as the Saints. The only thing is that we know these guys. These guys are division opponents. We know their abilities in terms of as players. We know the coaching staff now after a year there with the new coaching staff. They're a year old. We know more about what they're about. Their offense. Let's start with the offense. Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Blake Jarwin. They have a really good team. Oh, and guess what? They have a really good offensive line also. And I honestly believe that it's just going to be about who wants it more when it comes to this game. The effort from the New York Giants just has to be at 1,000%. We have to stop Zeke. Zeke doesn't do good against the Giants. He has had very little games of him actually doing good against the Giants. It cannot happen now. We have to keep stuffing the run and setting up the pass. We have to contain Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has to become a pocket passer. We cannot allow him to extend plays. The way we win this game is just punching them in the mouth. That's one game that I'm excited for, because if we win that game, it's going to say a lot about the New York Giants for the upcoming 2021 season. Let's go ahead and talk about the defense for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys on defense. The Dallas Cowboys on defense have, in my opinion, one of the best linebacking corps in the league. You have Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, and then Michael Parsons, who is the rookie that they just got in the first round. I love all those linebackers, to be honest. I don't think they're as bad as they were last year as a team, but they're still not good. Their secondary has a bunch of no names. I do like Trayvon Diggs, and that's Diggs from Buffalo, younger brother. Other than that, man, this team is very improved. And obviously, they got DeMarcus Lawrence, and they have Randy Gregory there, so they can make some pressure happen. But if we could just, again, same thing, punch in the mouth, just test their will, can the Cowboys really push off? It's gonna be a battle of will. I like this game way better than the Saints game, because it's not a top offense and a top defense. It's just a top offense with a highly questionable defense. So this should be a high-scoring game, in my opinion. Maybe not. Maybe the Giants are able to dominate this game. I'm going to give the Giants the win on this one. We start the year 5-1. And we're going to be well in our way to the playoffs. Guys, that's the video that I'm going to give you guys today. We're going to break down 4 more teams next week. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Drop the comments below. What do you guys want to see in addition to this? And hey, let's go ahead and get ready for the season. I am hyped, man. Schedule release is out. Let's go.